Okay, this is my computer story. This story took place in the year 1971, which is a very significant year for this story I'm about to tell. In 1971, I had just gotten out of the Army and I was living in Miami. And I had this job working for an air conditioning company. And it was a pretty good job. And what I would do, I had a little truck with a radio in it. And this air conditioning company had all of these mechanics that would go out to these condos and hotels and work on their air conditioning systems. And when a couple of guys would be up on the roof working on the air conditioner, and if they needed a part, well, they couldn't go to the store to get the parts. So they would call me on the radio, and I would go to the parts house, and I would get to the part, and I would take it up to the guys up on top of the condo or the hotel or wherever they were working, and I would bring them the part. And this was my job, and it was pretty a good job. I was 21 years old. I was pretty much a punk, young, thought I knew everything about the world. You know how that goes. Anyway, this one day I was going to this big place where they were working, and I walked in the front door, and the girl behind the desk, I went to high school with her, and I went, "Oh, hi, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time." And we were just sitting there talking, remembering friends and stuff in high school. And all of a sudden, her boss came out, and when he came out into the office there, she says to him, she goes, "Oh, this is my friend Robert," and she introduced me to her boss. And the guy kind of acted like he liked me. Not that he was gay or anything, but I think he just thought I was an okay guy. And he talked to me for a little while, and we had a nice little conversation. And so I kept coming back to this same office almost every day for a couple of weeks. And I kept coming back to this office for a couple of weeks, and it seemed like every other time I would walk in there, the boss would come out, and he would just talk to me, and he was being real nice to me. That was me.
Oh, okay.
I just hung it up.
I think it's
anyway, I came into this office very often, and the guy would come out to me occasionally, and he would talk to me a little bit. And then one day he comes out to Robert, and he goes, "Robert," and I go, "Yes." He goes, "How do you like your job?" I said, "Oh man, this job is okay. I drive around Miami all day, nobody bothers me. I get to do pretty much what I want, and it's a pretty good job." And he says to me, he goes, "Well, I tell you what, we were thinking about maybe hiring some sort of an apprentice, and I was wondering if you might be interested in working with us." And I looked the man right in the eyes, and I said, "Well, what is it you do here?" And he said, "We make computers." And I looked the guy right in the eye, and I said, "What in the F is a computer?" That was the first time I had even ever heard that word, computer. It meant nothing to me whatsoever. I'd never heard that word before. So I said, "What is a computer?" And he goes, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what it is." And he takes me back into this big room, and these computers were huge. They were the size of walls. And he goes up to one of them, and he unscrews it, and he opens it up, and all I seen in there was wires. And I am scared to death of electricity, and all I seen in there was wires. And I said, "Oh man, this is all nothing but electric. I don't want nothing to do with this." And he goes, "Oh Robert, this is not going to hurt you none." And I said to him, I said, "You know something?" I said, "I am so afraid of electricity. I don't think I'm interested in doing any of this." And he says, "Well, okay, I'm sorry, we thought you might be interested, but if you're not, okay, no problem." Well, I'll tell you what, right now, you can't believe how hard I can kick myself in the butt because I did not take this job. This, like I said before, this was in 1971. And when was the PC invented? It was invented in 1971. I could have been on the ground floor of the biggest thing that ever hit this planet. And I told the guy, "No thank you, I'm not interested." Now how do I stop it?